This is the seasonal stock and ETF report for today, October 12th. But because the probability of market crash has dramatically increased, we're going to talk about the stock market crash and see what we can learn from seasonality. We're going to go to trade seasonal and go to indices common, type GSPC, which is SPX. It's being changed to that. Let's go to all of our data, which is 94 years. Right now, this is the seasonal viewer right over here, the seasonal chart on seasonal viewer. This is showing the last 94-year average trend for all times of the year. So these numbers aren't as important as the trend is. This is where we are right now. But do you see right there on 27th of September, markets went up in average, then it went sideways, then it dropped. Let's take a look at that drop. That drop is significant. We're just going to adjust our opportunity windows to those dates. Make it 7 days. There. So we just picked that drop. So let's take a look over here. What was it on 1929? 18% drop. In 1997 was 8% drop. 87 was almost 4% drop. 2008, 14%. So this is definitely a vulnerable week. Let's take a look at each of them individually. I'm just going to click it and see the historical drop. So in 1929, this is literally in the middle of the crash. The market kept dropping and it kept going into middle of November. But this week was definitely vulnerable. It continued being vulnerable. And by the way, take a look at this. This is seasonal viewer is showing this as this week as a seasonally bearish week. That's why it's red. It's been going down (61% of the time). So 1974, 4%. 97, 8.23. Let's look at the last time we had it, which is 2008. In 2008, the markets just stopped dropping toward the end of September and just continued. But it also continued during that week that we just talked about. It bounced right after that in 1987. How about in 2008? How about in 1987? 1987, the crash occurred earlier, right there. In October 13th, or maybe even sooner, it just started dropping a little bit, but October 13th would have been a perfect time to be short the market and catch this down move right there. And in 1929, it was in the middle. We talked about that. So now let's take a look at the month of October itself, which is a vulnerable month. So the month of October by itself is tagged as bullish. 61% of the time it was an up month from October 1st to end of October. However, look at the huge drops. 1929 is 19 and a half. 1987 October was down 22%. October was down 16.5% in 2008, and so on. So October by itself is pretty weak, and this week that we just talked about, 20th to 27th, is the weakest time to watch out. So I still say the next 2 weeks is the most vulnerable time in S&P 500, but The time that's seasonally absolutely bearish is 20th to 27th. So things haven't changed. Market is probably a little bit up today, but this is where we are right now. This is last 10 years. Let's go back to 94. This is where we are right now on this sideways area of seasonality right there. But the drop occurs right there, which is the 20th and 27th. So watch out for these weeks. But the magic date is here. If fundamentals are okay, that means I don't know, nuclear war hasn't started or something drastic. This is the most bullish time in the markets ever. It starts on October 25th. I can show you that one. If we go to October 25 and click on, go select, let's say 90 years. Select S&P 500. Take a look at this. If you would have bought last 90 years, you would have bought S&P 500 on 25th of October and held it until January 6th. In the last 90 years, you would have been profitable 81% of the years with an average profit of 5.81%. That is the most bullish date range I've seen on S&P 500 itself. So the magic date is October 25. Wait till then before you go bullish. If we look at individual stocks, you can actually see some of those too. See, there's a little bit of down on United Healthcare, but I really care about likes of Microsoft. Microsoft goes up this time of the year based on last 10 years. But if we look at last 35 years, it also goes up this time of the year. So Microsoft is actually a better bet. Look at this right there. It's all green for the last 10 years or so. But I would wait till the 25th of October to go long. That's it for today.